Hey folks, so how's everybody doing? We have a graduate in the room. And Dana, nice job on your video for your first effort there at Filmora.
It was great.
So, did you understand the comments I left you last night? Did that help you out? Good evening, life of a mill wife. Is that a millionaire wife? Is that what that is?
It's Kelly. She changed when she started a channel. She has her first video out, and she changed the name. But it's Kelly May. She used to be in here. She's in here all the time. Wife of a military wife. She's
military.
She's a Canadian. Yes,
I didn't know
sir.
if it was. I thought maybe it was millionaire. I thought we had rich people amongst us.
McCrae's the rich one.
Yeah, Bandana, I thought you did a real good job on your first attempt doing that. I have some constructive criticisms. If you'd like it, we could talk about that. But we're going to talk about it in general here this evening. So I kind of made the topic of tonight's show audio. You get people maybe a little bit more familiar with the program as far as what they can do with it, how to adjust it, how to blend things in, how to make voiceover fit the video. So if anybody has any pertinent questions to that right away, maybe we can get those out of the way. If not, we'll just kind of start here. No, we are not affiliated with Filmora. They don't sponsor me in any way. They don't even give me free effects.
Ricky, I'm glad you're there and not here, because I'd wonder where you'd sit here.
Okay. Well, let's bring this up so you can see a little bit what we have here. This obviously is the promo, if you would, the little advertisement for tonight's live stream that I made. So I just figured I would leave it up so you all can see pretty much exactly how I created it. And we'll just kind of go through it a step at a time here. The very first screen is what you see here, and it's just a snapshot. There's nothing moving in it. It's just simply a snapshot. And as I played that along, I wanted to have an overlay come in of smudge in the microphone that you see right here. And I even had to put his name in there too, right there. So what I have at this point is I have the same snapshot in the background, which is where the mouse is right here. And then I have smudge as the first picture-in-picture. And I have the microphone as the second picture-in-picture. And because of the way things stack, the further down it is on the list, it's over top of everything underneath it. Or I should say above it. So that's the reason the microphone sits on top of smudge, and smudge sits on top of the background. And then the text sits on top of everything else. And this is just a... It's a matter of fact, it's called Somerset Sunshine Title, is the titling effect that I used. Let's kick that up here. And I took their lettering, I made it a graduate fill, and put two colors in it. I did put a border on it, I did add a shadow. So that just made it kind of stand out. There was other writing in that, I just deleted it. So that's in here. I also, when Smudge first came in, I did a voiceover. So let me just play a little bit of that here. Greetings. Tonight's topic will be audio. Narratives, voiceovers, background music. Okay. When I created this, the only thing that I had up here was the very beginning. I had Smudge and the microphone. I didn't even have the title up at that point. And I created this narrative or voiceover, which is on this line right here. And I created that not knowing how long it was going to be or anything like that. When I got up to where I felt I liked what it said, I stopped, took a look at the length, and then I started filling. And Susie, you know, I mentioned to you when you told me you wanted to do a voiceover and stuff, frequently it's easier to do your voiceover and then adjust the video to your voiceover. Because if you try to cram a whole paragraph into time that's on the screen, you may not be able to do it. You'll be rushed and everything else. So if it's possible, do your voiceover and make your video fit your voice. Very easy to stretch out images. It's not so easy to stretch out a video. So as we go on through this, I used different pieces that cause the background. See, I have a purple background here. Let me turn this off. And this is something that I also showed or talked with Susie about. You can turn each one of these lines off. You don't, so they have no effect. So I've turned off the overlays that I put on this, and I just have a graduated purple background. And that's all that is for this whole part. There's no changes. But I wanted to give it some depth. I wanted to give it something different. So I went into overlays. Let me turn off Smudge so you can see what they look like. I'll turn the mic off. And I just created these overlays. I shrunk them down so they would fit the time of the talk. And I have some repeating themselves. I thought, okay, now I want to do just a little bit more. So I added additional overlays, underneath them. Here we go. So what that does is it creates a wave effect. Turn that back off. You can see it's the same picture. It just distorts it. It's a distortion overlay. So I had that starting at the beginning. Not to interrupt, but Freaky Geek 2 is asking, can you fix it so the voice is louder than music in videos? Absolutely. Absolutely, and we will be getting to that. I just haven't gotten that far down on this list. So we have this ribbon effect, and then I went into what they call this chromatic aberration. And if you notice on the screen, you can see what it does. It shifts the lines, breaks them out into the colors, and it stretches them out. So again, what I'm doing is I'm taking a still image, and as it plays, it adds movement. And I just continue to do that all the way through this. Let me turn off music and sound. So as you play this, you can see what it's doing in the background here. Now if I come back, I turn Smudge back on. You now see how that's changed things behind him. So then coming on down, while I was still in the talk, I'm still into this voice overlay, and I'll turn it back on here now. Though it applies to virtually any editing program, we'll show you how using Filmora. So right at that point, when I said the word Filmora, I decided that would be a good time to insert the Filmora screen. But Smudge was still talking, so I put it at the top. Turn Smudge back off. But this is what I inserted as soon as I said the word Filmora. And then I also put this little overlay, the bubble overlay on top of it. But if we turn that off and play this, we're just an image, a title, another title, some elements, and then here on the back. Now this is a black background, and I have two overlays on top of it. Turn those off. There we go. I guess at this point we have everything off except for the voice. Greetings. Tonight's topic will be audio. Narratives, voiceovers, background music, assembling different clips, how to get the volume right, and how to do it wrong. Though it applies to virtually any editing program, we'll show you how using Filmora. See you then. And I could turn these titles off. We'll just leave those play through. But I think you get an idea how you take something very plain and give it some depth, give it some movement. Now, Susie made a comment to me that she had some pieces in her video. I think she said she had a couple still images or something that she couldn't get to, couldn't find, or something to that effect. This particular video is only 51 seconds long, but I can break this down all the way down to a single frame. This little bar right here, where I have the mouse going around, the video editing vid screen. If I take the little ball here and I move it off to the right, I've just stretched this out, and every little dot that you see above this is an individual frame. At that point, you'll be able to see exactly, and we'll throw a video on here as a better demonstration. But to get this back, the little box right here that has the arrows going to each side, this puts the whole video in the window here, into the timeline. So that just squeezed it all back automatically. You didn't have to try to come back. Now, if you just want to work on an area, let's say you want it to work just in this particular area, you can either open it up with this little bar. You can also have your cursor just above the bar, so you see the little square with the arrows on it right there. Press her down and just spread it out, or shrink it back up. I can make it much smaller, but to get it just full size across is right here. All right, let's get into the music overlay for a minute. And what I've done here is I've done it the way that Filmora with some of their tutorials tell you to do it. Excuse me. I have two identical pieces of music here, taking up two tracks. They are exactly the same length, and they were absolutely 100% identical when I placed them down here. So they're right in time with each other. Go back to the beginning here, and I'm going to turn off the top line, or the I guess music number one. That is, I'm sorry, yeah, that's turned off. So that line will play now. Okay, I pause the video here. If you heard this was playing at its full volume, and then it tapered off at the end down to nothing. The reason that they say to do this by having two identical tracks here is because underneath it, turn this track on and turn the upper track off, we have the exact same tune playing very softly. But now you're not hearing the loud part. If you remember, I said I did the audio here first. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get a good mix of the volume of this, I'm going to call it restricted track, restricted music, where it's low, so that the voice was prominent over top of the sound. Greetings. Tonight's topic will be audio. Narratives, voiceovers, background music, assembling different clips, how to get the volume right, and how to do it wrong. Though it applies to virtually any editing program, we'll show you how using Filmora. See you then. Okay, when I was happy with that volume, I just left that alone. Then I went back to the other track and I turned it on and played it. Oops, I'm sorry, I gotta turn it on first. Greetings. And right where I wanted it to stop, a sliced video with the cutters right here. I sliced it at the start of the vocals. I sliced it again here at the end of the vocals. When I went back to the first part of the loud vocals, I said I want this to fade out. And I usually use my fade ins and fade outs. I usually make them about 1 second. And that's what I have here, 1.08 seconds. It's not real critical. Nobody's going to be able to detect the difference between 0.98 seconds and 1.08 or 1.25. They're not going to notice that difference. But this is the individual editor for the music. Because the sounds were the same, I used the master volume, which is located over here. They call it an audio mixer. And this is what I set the overall sound to. Now, if you notice on this is the loud track, music 1, and it's actually at a 2.0 dB reduction from its raw footage, if you would. But the low one has a 16.3 dB reduction. So that's the difference between those two lines of the music. And I made those match the vocals. Now the record button, where my vocal is, I left it alone. If it wasn't loud enough, I could have bumped it up. Could have made it a lot louder. And we'll bump it up here a little bit. They have a little test button here. Greetings. Tonight's topic will be audio. There it is. Voiceovers, background music, assembling different clips. So you can actually make your overall adjustments here very quickly. If I want that background music to be even less, I'll pull it down a little bit. Different clips, how to get the volume right, and you can hear it's still there, and how to do it wrong. Though it applies to virtually any editing program, I can show you how using Filmora. See you then. So that's the way that works. This audio mixer controls that entire track, whatever is on it. And that's great if you have a single clip of music or a single voiceover thing. But what if you have multiples and they're of different volumes in their raw form? You need to be able to edit each one individually, and that's what this piece does. To get to the editing piece, you can right click on it and click edit. You can just double click, it'll open up here. And there's a lot of other options here. You can control the speed, you can control the volume, plus and minus. Fade in, fade out, control the pitch. There's an equalizer in here that has a number of different presets for classic, dance, low bass, sparkle, pop, rock and roll, soft. And there's more. Goes on down. Or completely custom, where they give you the mixer, the equalizer that you can custom set your controls to whatever sounds right to you. They also have a denoise feature. We talked about that a few weeks ago. Remove background noise. For what we created here, I just didn't feel it was necessary in any way, shape, or form. If you have some wind noise, if you have other background noise, maybe you have air conditioner running in the background, a lot of times you can eliminate most, if not all of that, by denoising the video, if you would. Before you upload a video and you've put this all together and you've spent however much time you want to spend on it, before you upload it, have somebody else watch it. Let them catch it. Before I upload any videos, I always have Sherry watch them. She's my spell check. She's my ear if I mispronounce something, or if something is amiss, volume's too loud, there's some distortion somewhere, something doesn't fit, she'll catch it. We hope she catches it. Anyway. I hope maybe that answered some of your questions. And there was one other thing I know that Susie had a question with that I did want to address. I remember what it was. It was on titles. And I don't know for sure right offhand which one it was. Might have been this one. This might be the title she actually used in that video. And I think that she left these two dots in. I think that's what she was referring to. Can you help me on that, Susie? Is that what you were referring to, that you saw leftover remnants or something correct? Gosh, I hope I didn't put her to sleep.
She's there.
Words left in it. Okay. Like this, your text here, for example, maybe, where it was like hidden in the background. Possibly. But if we look closer at this, if we go to the Advanced tab, this thing is divided up into 3 parts. This top part is the entire outside here. And then your title here is one section, and then your text here is another section. Any of those can be removed, or you can add. So if we go to this big one, I just hit the delete key. That got rid of the dots, it got rid of the frame border, and I now just have 2 lines of text to work with. If I don't want this one, I can delete it. And now I just have 1 line of text to work with. And of course you can crank it, you can place it wherever you want. Screen, change the font, change the color, and build it. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. If you ever have a doubt with what your title looks like, where you're doing it over a video, where I'm going to call it, it's like got a busy background and you may not be able to see all the lettering clearly, just turn that off. Turn it off to look at it. If I come over here, you notice smudge is turned off. If I turn off top line, now I can see exactly what's there. And then turn it back on. There we go. I think we have everything turned back on. At this point, everything's turned back on. I have it the way I like it, and I can just play it. Greetings. Tonight's topic will be audio. There it is. Voiceovers, background music, assembling different clips, how to get the volume right,
Did you get
and how to do it wrong.
Robin's comment?
Though it applies to virtually any
I
editing
figured out how to
program.
remove the extra word,
We'll
but
show you
never
how
touch the advanced
using
button
Filmora.
because I'm not smart enough for all
See
that.
you then.
It's Mac for now or when she leaves.
Okay. With a lot of the titles, if you don't use the advanced button, you can't do everything like what I just showed you. Go back into this very quickly here. I go into the advanced, that's where it brings this up. This is where you can alter these pieces down here. You can't do that unless you're in the advanced. So if we play this now, and they have a little test screen here, you can see it's tonight's topic. It's left these. There it is. Voiceover. I'm not sure what you would call them, just little fishtails or something floating around. I can take those out. That's all right here in this line. If I delete those, now play it. Greetings. Tonight's topic will be audio. And if I want the letters wider, space them out. I can put it in a different location. I can animate it differently. Greetings. Tonight's topic will be audio. And there's a number of different ways that you can always cancel out. Now, another way that you can save yourself is if you've worked on the video for a period of time, but you still have more work you want to do, save it as used to save as feature, but save it as product 1 or product A, and then go ahead and make some changes, and maybe you've then gone too far and you want to go back to where you were. You can always go back to that product 1. But if you make some more changes and you want to save it again, you can do it in steps and make it then product B. And that we can go back to product A, product B, product C, and you can piece it all back together. Any questions about any of that? Susie, I thought you did a very good job on your first attempt. The biggest thing that I could recommend is when your music came back in at the end, it was too loud. It totally drowned your voice. But that's minor. I thought you did great with the transitions. I thought you did great with all the rest of that.
Yes, it's a program that costs money. The free version has the
It's a watermark
on it. But for what they charge, it's worth the one payment for lifetime use of it.
Yeah, they have a lifetime license for I think $60, and you get all the improvements that they make. They're continually improving their program. This program is not the end all be all. It is not. If you're running multiple cameras, if you're running 360-degree cameras and stuff, this is not the program for you. This is more, I'm going to use the term entry level for people to use. That has some fantastic capabilities. It's highly rated by all the major reviewers. It's just a good, solid program. I've never had it crash. Maybe I'm lucky too. I don't know, but I know a lot of people have used it. I've talked with a lot of people who have used it. They're easy to use, and it's a wonderful stepping stone. If you decide that you want to go out and get a new version of Sony Vegas and put $700 into an editing program, well, a lot of the things you do in Sony Vegas, you're doing right here. So like I say, it's a great learning tool. The curve is not that steep, and I think Susie Bandana can attest to that. She had just a couple questions that I helped her with, and she's just watched a few of these little sample shows that we've had. The only reason I even started doing these is because YouTube took their editor away. and we had a number of people asking me what we would recommend. There's some free editing tools out there, but they don't give you near the depth or quality that this program does. It's relatively inexpensive. They have a less expensive version. You can buy the version for a year, but for $60, it's lifetime. We've gone through this pretty quick. Greek, I agree with you. I like the, pay once. And even all the updates are free. That point on. Now what they will do is they will offer all these extras, which people can buy into if they want to, and that's how they make their money. I can't blame them for that. If we go to they have an online help support center, feature request, they have Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter. Let's go to the project page. So in their products, they have Filmora, which is what we're using here. They have Filmora Go, which is for a phone. I know little to nothing about that. And they also have I'm told, a very, very good screen capture program. That's all it does. There is a screen capture in Filmora, and it will capture the raw footage on your screen and do a great job. Just told this one's a little better. But they have a number of extra effects. This is where they make their money. There's different effect sets that they sell for anywhere from $20 to $40 a set. Sometimes they put deals together, creative themes bundles for $50. You're saving $50 from regular price.
It's asked if you can upload the program again if you get the new computer. I think that was asked last week, the week before, but I don't remember what the consensus was.
Yes, you can. They have record of your purchase. But the easiest thing to do, and everybody should have either a healthy size thumb drive or some sort of detached disk where you keep your installation files. So you just plug it in the new computer and just reinstall. I will have to admit, I've been tempted on some of these different bundles and stuff that they've had before. But they also have these
Susie wants,
free goods. Go ahead.
Susie wants to know, what is a healthy size thumb drive? How many gigabyte or TB or whatever? If you just get
a thumb drive is different than an external hard drive. You have a 128 gig thumb drive, a little flash drive that plugs into the USB port that you, like a keychain fob. For a lot of people, that's all they would ever need. If you wanted to keep all of your videos and keep a lot of this other stuff, 1 or 2, 3 terabyte, it just plugs into the USB. But it's an actual hard drive goes on the side, and you would simply just save your files off to that, and you can unplug it. It's not attached to your computer. Plug in the computer then, and you can just reinstall your files. Of course, that's for another class. Yes, terabyte is definitely bigger than gigabyte. Petabytes and...
Do some folks call them thumb drives, memory cards, sticks, some sort?
Yes. Here.
Because I have one right here. This is for my...
Yeah.
I think that's for my embroidery. I don't remember.
I call this a thumb drive. And this is...
bandana.
I think it's just a SanDisk. Well, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Let's be this camera. Here we go. I have too many cameras. I don't know where I'm at. But this is what Sherry has, and this is what I call a thumb drive. They also make an external hard drive disk. Those usually start at maybe 500 gig.
Well, Bandana says she thinks of adding a terabyte hard drive so she can have all her Amazon wish lists.
Sure. But I would certainly recommend having a removable hard drive. You don't want to leave it on the computer. Put your information on it. Turn it off, set it aside, unplug it, set it aside, and that way if you ever do have an incident with your computer, let's say you have an electrical incident where lightning strikes the pole right outside your house and it transfers through. If that hard drive is not plugged into anything, it's fine. But there's a chance that your computer will lose everything on it. Those chances exist. But if you have it unplugged and off to the side, it's just safer to be. Like that Wienermobile. Oh, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
We saw that in Chicago.
Yes, we did.
Christy, there's always the one in Tennessee. It'll probably be in May again. I know this year it's a 2-day conference that Appalachia Conference.
Where's she from?
I'm not sure where Christy's from. Christy, where are you? Besides in front of your computer. That would be my smart ass answer.
McRae, that's a very good idea to do it in that fashion.
Some silly thing like a hurricane might, go by your house or something.
Probably everybody's close to a Best Buy. It said external. Those are all internal. Okay, here's Western Digital Easy Store 1 terabyte external USB portable hard drive for $50. Here's a 2 terabyte for $70. You can get them in different colors to match your purse or whatever. There's a 4 terabyte for $108.
Christy's in Alabama.
Okay. And obviously Alabama's a big state, but she's not out west. So I'm going to say that probably going to Crossville next year might be a doable thing for her, possibly.
Yeah, Freaky Geek 2. Best Buy is also costly when Daryl walks in. I'm not sure. I think maybe there's only been one time in the last year that Daryl's walked out without anything.
Well, if I don't have something in mind to get, I don't go in. So I defend myself. I defend myself for that. If I don't go in just to window shop. I go in with a purpose. So anyway, let's get back to this. Let's this is the video that we threw together of Sherry's unboxing that we just uploaded today. Did some of the same things in this that I've shown before, but I'll kind of rehash them again. I took the raw video, which is right here in the center part. I'll just highlight it. And I didn't do a thing to it. It's exactly the way it was. But I went right to the very beginning, and I did what they term a freeze frame. And what that does is it takes a snapshot, takes a picture of that frame. By default, they're 5 seconds. And that's what I used right here at the beginning. So the image just is frozen there for 5 seconds.
Okay, get that image off the screen. Put Smudge back up there.
For smudge
and drag. Oh my.
So anyway, I did that both at the beginning and then at the end, and I stretched the snapshot out so that it just remained frozen so I could add the annotations.
Shut up, Robin.
The end. So, does anybody have any questions on something that they're trying to do, they haven't quite figured out, or how to do something else?
You're picking on me. I'm not sure what that is, but okay, if you say so.
I see we've got, what, 13, 14, maybe 15 of you in the room here.
It says 13. Who knows with YouTube?
Yes.
I mean, if they can say an alderman live stream is not fit for their advertisers, Lord knows.
Oh, yeah. We got buried in that.
Yeah, Robin, I did make that one easy. Susie Haas says, how do I grab a portion of the main video to use as intro without deleting it from the main video?
Okay. Do that. I want a section right here, and I'm going to cut it. And I want want it to go this long, so I'm going to cut it again. I now have this one little section here in the middle. What I'm going to show you here will just make it easier.
Well, she says she asked it to copy and then dragged it to the beginning, but when the main video played, it was gone.
Okay. What you want to do is you want to copy and then get it on the line instead of dragging it. Go to the end of your video and put your line down at the end of the video and then paste it. It's now over here. Now you can take it and drag it back over. If you just try to drag it before and you drop it in the wrong place, it goes away. So now you have it here. I can double it up. I can insert it right here. I can put it right in front of that. I can go back to the beginning. So I could put it right at the very beginning. But now it's at the very beginning. Okay, does that make sense to you? I guess the one thing I just want you to keep in mind is this audio mixer is a fantastic tool, but it controls the entire track. And when I say track, that's these little lines that the things rest on. You adjust the volume here, anything that's on that track for the entire distance moves up or down. And in a lot of cases, you may have different sound clips. You may want different volumes. So at that point, you have to go into the sound clip you're working with and edit those individually.
You answered Freaky Geeks about if what you're teaching in this program will work with others, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like I said, every piece of software has its own little nuances, but this is some good basic substance. You learn this program for you to learn Adobe, Sony Vegas, Power Director. You've just made it. If you have the basics on this, you've made a huge step in any of those programs.
You did say no, it won't work with other programs, right? But you're teaching with Filmora. Will it work with other programs?
Yes.
Oh, it will work.
It will work with other programs.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
There may be some slight nuances.
Okay.
You're not going to find, for example, this audio mixer probably isn't going to be sitting in this location. It may be over here in some programs, or it may be down at the bottom of the screen in some programs. But you'll find that function
Gotcha.
in another program. This is not the only program that I use. But this program probably at least touches 98% of the videos that we create.
Yeah. Suppose. I don't do it. Yes, he does like that word bandana. Not sure if he knows what it means, but that's on his top 5.
I'll just let bandana. I'll just be quiet. This is one of the other programs that I use.
That picture is of his daughter. Step back up. That's his youngest. That's Heather. Was married 4 years ago, I think. Saber's 3, yeah. They were married at the Columbus Zoo. Isn't she gorgeous? Got looks from her dad.
I don't know who that guy is in that suit there. Anyway, this is one of the other programs that I use as Power Director. And you drag it down into the line here. And this happens to be a 360-degree video. That for right now. And this program can do things that Filmora cannot. Work with these 360-degree videos. It can sync two different things using the audio. It's a little bit more advanced, I guess is the best way to put it. So when we do multiple camera shots for a single item, this is the program I go to first, put it all together, and then I usually go ahead and produce the video with this, drop it into Filmora, maybe add some titling and the sound perhaps, and finish it off. But I do a lot of the heavier work with this program. But a lot of people, don't let that keep you from spending $60, because like I say, this is my go-to program right here. And everything I do with that other one, with the exception of 360-degree videos, I can do in this program. Is just maybe it becomes very tough. The only line you can put a transition in here is this top line. If you have picture-in-picture, you can't transition them on this program. So you just simply create a video with that, short video, go grab that clip and stick it in the top line, and that way you can put your transition in. Extra step, but you can still do it. And I think that's one of the things this program really has going for it. Well, folks, it's 8:58. So I've used up my allotted time.
Cases will be starting here shortly.
Yes, homesteading with the cases. Our friends out of Indiana, please go over and join them. I guess they're going to be at the conference this weekend too.
Howard is.
Oh, she's not coming?
She can't get off work.
Oh.
Just her. And he's going to man the, whatever it is,
his
one sponsor. Beard
stuff.
Beard Commando.
Beard Commander.
Yeah.
So, did Tina ask you to keep an eye on him?
No.
Supposed to make sure he's a good boy or something?
I don't know. No. I'll be keeping an eye on the coffee and tea booth.
Yes. Okay. Anybody got any parting questions? If not, I'm sure that sometime this coming weekend we'll be live.
I figure, that's what I said, probably Friday, with us being there to help set up, especially once they stop for lunch, because Amy and Tangi are furnishing the lunch.
It's going to depend on what kind of signal is there.
Right. So we may be able to get something in at lunchtime.
But I also know that Sherry has that phone out while I'm driving, so who knows? She just may pop on live as we're driving down the road.
Got it. Yeah, everyone do. Check out, in fact, let me go grab it for you, Bandana, because I thought it was great. Not only because I like you, but I think, I like Tara. I also have her cookbook. This is Bandana Grandma's video. Oh, you're coming in Friday also to help? Awesome. That's why you kept saying you'll see us Friday. This is a great video. Go check it out. If you haven't subscribed to Bandana, please do so. She's a wonderful woman, and we will see her Friday. She's helping too. Awesome.
Well, folks, it's 9 o'clock. Go see the cases. Tell them we sent you. Have a wonderful week, and take care.
Bye-bye.